he referred to the issue of incompetence with regard to my duties as Attorney General. And I've said, I believe the President's intention in making that accusation is to divert me from pursuing this issue of abductions and extrajudicial killings, because he wants me to begin defending myself. So it becomes a back and forth between him and I. I don't have to defend myself about that. The record is there for everybody to see. Yeah. When I got there, if I was to speak even for 1 minute, I discovered and we had committed ourselves in the manifesto that we would make the office of the state law office independent. And I went and I did exactly that, proposed, and with the concurrence of Parliament, got an amendment to the Office of the Attorney General Act to remove the hiring, firing, discipline of State Council from the Public Service Commission to a body, just like the DPP's office has, a body, an advisory board, which is chaired by the Attorney General, and the Secretary being the Solicitor General. The President of the Law Society is there, Chairman of the Public Service Commission is there, the Chair or representative of Institute of Human Resource Management is there, and representative from the Judiciary, yeah, and I think 1 or 2 others, yeah. First of all, on the day we launched the 24th supplement in April of last year, which of the Kenya law, which was last launched in 1999 at Safari Park. The same William Ruto was commending me, full of praise about what I have been able to do, because he saw we were actualizing our manifesto. Right. But never mind that. And I think that's the area I don't want to go to, because I think that's where William Ruto wants to take me, so that I keep defending, try to defend myself. I think that my record is there for all to see. Right. And let me also say this, among other things which I introduced, I said MOUs will not be used as a basis for entering into contracts, committing government, because many of the cases that government has been losing based on contracts have been because ministries were entering into all manner of MOUs. Right. And I insisted MOUs must be brought to the Attorney General to approve, so that when you see it's going to be, this is binding, you tell them, no, this is not the way it's supposed to be done. Right. Of course, that became, I know, many of my colleagues in cabinet did not quite like that, but please, let me not go there, because that's where William Ruto wants to take me, right, so that I'm defending myself.
If you do,
let me just, this issue of, it's a matter of human rights. It's a matter of us enforcing our constitution. It's a matter of
Constitution. Did your relationship with the president? Did your relationship with President Ruto turn sour after the abduction of your son? Where you said he was praising you last year. So where did it begin to get tight between the two of you?
Let me say this: around that time, around April, when I was still Attorney General, I actually, and he knows, William Ruto knows. Even he used to say to me when his relationship with Uhuru began going south, he would call me and ask me, JB, what is happening? What happened to my friend? What? In fact, let me disclose to the nation. In January 2020, because their relationship was getting so strained, I sought the intervention of the religious sector, and I had a breakfast meeting with Cardinal John Jue, and I pleaded with him to call other senior clergy of his stature and go and sit these two people down. So, because I was seeing it was getting bad. So even with regard to him, William Ruto and his former deputy, around that area, around the month of April of last year, I actually had tea with him. Now that he is the one who has begun this thing, by saying the things he said at Iftar and at Sagana State Lodge, I think I'm at liberty also to say. I approached him, I told him, I see there's something that is happening between you and your deputy. What is the problem? What is wrong? Why can't two people, because it's affecting, I think it's affecting the way we will operate as a cabinet. Okay. Because we don't want to be seen to be accused of being pro this and anti-the other. I sat as Attorney General in the National Security Council. And when those things, first time when they came up for, some form of discussion, it was saying that it is left to the investigative agencies. Yes, and therefore,
but you're the Attorney General. As a
member of cabinet, you are precluded, and also a member of the National Security Council, you are precluded from commenting, because after all, it is not a matter within your docket. Remember the issue.
But as Attorney General?
Yes.
As Attorney General, you are basically you're a holder of the Constitution, you're a duty bearer, and also someone who is required to enforce and enact the Constitution, and abductions are very much against that. So then how can we say that we've left that to the security services when you are the Attorney General, and extrajudicial killings, abductions, etc. are all against the fabric of our Constitution and the letter, not just the spirit of the law, but the letter of the law?
Let me say this, and again, just to explain. If you read the Constitution, the functions of the Attorney General are clearly spelled out in Article 156. Soon thereafter, following it closely is Article 157 that establishes the office of the DPP. If you read Article 157 closely, you'll find that the DPP is the office which has been given constitutional authority to direct the Inspector General of Police and all those people, including the DCI, can direct them to investigate any matter and report to him. The Attorney General is, remember after the 2010 Constitution, the office was split. And therefore, the office of the Attorney General deals with the several matters, representing government in several matters. In fact, I've seen very many Kenyans confused and sometimes ask me why I'm not investigating. It is not, the office, the Attorney General is not vested with the authority to investigate.
You're still an advisor.
But the Attorney General, no.
Yes, you're an advisor.
Please, the Attorney General advises government. The Attorney General does not advise the DPP. It is very important. Remember, in that Article 157, it says the DPP is independent and is not subject to the direction or control of any person, body, or authority in exercising their functions. In fact, I can even refer to Kenyans. An attempt when I was fairly new in the office was made by some people. I'll be talking about that later. To try I think there was a kind of a trick. People read a letter for me to sign to advise the DPP. And the moment I received the draft, it was not, of course, through my then Solicitor General, I called him, I asked him, what are you doing? This is causing constitutional friction in independent offices. The moment you try to do that, you cause friction. The only opportunity available to the Attorney General with regard to matters of this nature is both at the cabinet level and at the National Security Council meetings.
Of which you can give advice.
Yes.
What did you advise? In the wake of everything that was happening, what were you advising the president? What were you advising at the national level? What was your advice at that time?
When you meet in a meeting of that council, issues are raised, and generally people will discuss. The people in charge of the security sector will make a report. Then that's when you begin discussing it, and you can agree. Please, this matter, and it is resolved that this matter requires urgent attention because it is giving the country a bad image. Remember, at the civil side, the Attorney General also, represents government in many international fora. And I can say here, I had actually just represented the government in committing that we will end enforced disappearances of persons. At the United Nations meeting here in LDA in Gigiri, Nairobi.
Right.
So my advice goes up to there, and then you leave the operational aspects
of the security agencies to them.
Absolutely.
I can get that on paper.
And then they report then, well, if it is to come to cabinet, they will report through the Ministry of Interior.
That's